G'day guys. It's been a considerable amount of time, it seems anyway to me, since I've actually gone to a creek to do any prospecting. Thought I'd come out today, sort of mid-afternoon, play around for a little while and have a look and see. Surprisingly, I'm the only one here. So, I'll show you something new, and we'll have a little bit of a look around and see what's been happening. So there's a little bit of a play there by the looks of it. A few little holes. Alright, probably a few months back now, I was down here with me little 6-inch high banker that I always bring down, and the majority of the time I'm not seriously digging. I'm more testing the thing out and just having a bit of fun for an hour. It's the quickest, easiest way to prospect and move an okay amount of ground. More than I can with the pan. I'm just being a little bit extra cautious. It is a warm day. 100% there'll be snakes about. And I've seen quite a few of them down here over the years. So I'm just watching where I'm stepping, where the grass isn't too long, where I can see if there's a snake baking in the sun. Alright. Just having a little look and see. This rock here used to be, the one I'm talking about is just here. Used to be really high out of the water, but up there the bank's fallen in and this whole creek bed's now lifted. So where the gold used to be was down deep. And there's a lot of overburden now. I go back out here because I seen something when I come in that was interesting, and the only reason I was looking that way was that's where I plan on doing a little bit of prospecting. Now I did say, so what happened the last time I was here, well not the last time, but the time I was here with my high banker, was the ranger come and spoke to me and said, oh listen, you're not allowed to use your high banker. It's a mechanical piece of equipment. I tend to disagree with that. But since then, and I have never seen this sign before, and this is new. There's a sign up here. So, prospectors are required to have a miner's rights. Prospect in the creek bed only, between the orange markers. Use non-mechanical hand tools, metal detectors, hand tools, pans, and or simple cradles. Now, what does that mean? What it means is you can use a shovel, a pick, a little spade, you know, a hand tool that isn't mechanical. You're allowed to use bring down your excavator and start excavating the ground. A pan or a simple cradle. Now, the cradle that they're referring to is a rocker. If you don't know what one of those are, you can have a look. But I would consider, and I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. A river sluice would be something that's a simple cradle. Doesn't have the bilge pumps like the high banker. But in saying that, I would think if I brought my high banker down here and I bucketed water through it, I would probably get around this simple cradle business, because hey, your high banker is a cradle pretty much at the end of the day, with a water pump feeding it. And that's as simple as it is. At the end of the day, it's just modernised. We use either a petrol or an electric bilge pump, and that's it. Now, water's low, which is good. My plan was to come down here and have a little crack and just see if I can get lucky. There has been a lot of water and rain and all that sort of stuff, and this ground, God, that used to be empty. There's been a lot of ground come in here, a lot of dirt, a lot of gravels have washed in. So it'd be a lot of work to dig there and try and get something. I do know just here, if I move a few of these rocks around, I can get to a layer very quickly, and we'll see if we can get to this gold that we can see if we can get to the mercury that's full. This stuff's loaded with gold, but let's just see if we can get down to it. So I'll stop filming, I'll get down here, I'll bring a pan, a shovel and that, and we'll see if we can move some ground and see if I can show you some colour. Alright, I've done about 6 shovels approximately. I'm just using this, it's called the rotor pan. Got my shovel there, obviously you can see the bait pump. I've got another pan and screen here. So it's probably about 6 of those pans that I've thrown in there, and then I'm just screening down and we'll pan that off. I just got the other pan and screen because what I'm going to do is bait pump in here. Now I have got a new phone, I don't have a gimbal and that stuff for it. It's super burning hot out here today. I think it's 37, and the only place I can really sort of, I don't want to start wrecking my new phone, they're not cheap, and let's see if I can find something. Let's see if I can use this brick and try and set up just so for anyone starting out that hasn't seen one of my videos can see what I'm going to do. Alright, so I've been digging right here to find the right place. So it's a bit right there where I've been digging. I'll get my pan, because now I'm getting down to this clay, and you'll see by how far down this bait pump goes how deep I am. Just want to do one pan of bait pump stuff where I'm just soaking that clay and gravel and hopefully some gold. And that's enough. Not expecting expecting to find my fortune or anything like that. We are at Anderson Creek Warrandyte, so not a lot of material. This will be the only pans that I do here. I'm going to move on. I'm just more coming to have a look. Just stratifying that material, getting that gold to get down to the bottom. No guarantees that there's going to be anything, but you never know. Never know unless you try. As I said, this is not a place where you're going to get a lot of gold. It's more a place where you might want to bring the kids out for the first time. Don't have to track them along anything. You do have to worry about the snakes here. There are plenty, and I've seen plenty over the years. You can probably go to my playlist if I've got, and have a look there and look up snakes. And I've got a heading of snakes, and you'll see I've come across a few of them here. Alright, I am getting some colour. It's not a lot, but you've seen how much I just bait pumped. So, and I've probably lost a little bit at the same time. I'm not right down. The reason I can tell that is there's no mercury. I know there's mercury in this spot when you get really deep. So I have, let's have a look. Oh, about 4 bits of gold. I'll chuck that there and I'll pick up the phone. Just let me dry my hands off. I don't, as I said, brand new phone. Don't want to be mucking it up. And if you've seen my last phone, you'd know what I mean. Had more holes in it than you could imagine. Hopefully this new phone, the S24, will be kind and reveal some colour for you to see. So, put my finger there. So there's a piece of gold there. Put my finger here. So, there's 2 bits of gold there. And the biggest bit is, let's have a look. Put my finger there. There's my finger, there's the biggest bit there. So, at least 4 bits. There's some micros. I don't know, you might be able to see them. But there is some smaller little gold there as well. I'm going to screen this stuff off now. Then I'll pan it off and we'll see if there's any more. And then I'll move on to a new spot. Alright, you've seen that I had a pan with the gravels just over here. So I did that by itself, just to see. Because that was one of the second last lot. I'll put my finger there. So just above there. This green pan's not the best, I don't think, for showing gold on screen. But you can see this, I don't know, too easily visibles. Maybe a few micros as well. And in the rotor pan it has this base plate where the theory is the heavy stuff will drop into there and the gold will hold there. And what it has in there, just for those that don't know, has these 3 little agitators at the bottom. So they're like stratifying the ground, loosening it all up, getting it all moving, getting those heavies to drop to the bottom. And then it has this little ridge here that brushes off the lighter stuff that overflows into there. In that one, I've probably got the best piece for today, and then there's a couple others. So not a great deal of gold, but as I said, we are at Warrandyte. What I'll do is I'll just suck that stuff up. And same with this. Suck that gold up. Always, if you're going to spray the bottle out, spray it back into your pan. Don't just grab it and go like this and spray it elsewhere. Sometimes you haven't quite sucked that gold up, or it's stuck in that little straw, and you can just shoot what you've got straight out. What I'm going to do just to finish off, I'm going to pan this stuff out here. Now, I'm panning straight back into my hole, so I'm filling my hole in for anyone who's asking. All right? That's one thing the sign doesn't say. It doesn't go through a few things, you know. If you're going to dig a hole somewhere, I showed you a few at the start. People aren't filling their holes in. Next time we won't get a sign like that, or we will. We'll get a sign, something very different to that, and it'll say, prospecting is not allowed in this creek. Fill your holes in, do the right thing. Look, at the time I was not, I personally still can argue, but now that I've seen the rule about the simple cradle, and this is not for the state of Victoria, this is for the Warrandyte State Park. We've just got to keep that in mind. So last time a lot of people got their backs up. This is only for this park. This is a tributary to the Yarra, which is on the exempt list, and this creek would be on the exempt list. We're lucky enough to have the availability to this creek and a few others. But we'll see what's in this bucket, see what I've lost. It's always good to test your equipment. It's always good to rerun your tailings. We all miss something. That's why there's gold still in this creek. People miss something. People have missed something for hundreds of years now. So let's see what comes out of that bucket, and hopefully it's not too much. Alright guys, I've got to another creek out here at Warrandyte. This is a creek I haven't shown before. It is also a tributary of the Yarra. It also is one of the 3 creeks that we're allowed to prospect in the Warrandyte State Park. The creek that I'm at now is called Stony Creek. I'm assuming, and that little sign I showed you at the start of the video, the rules apply to this creek in the same way. So go back if you've forgotten them already. So, I've only stopped here because I couldn't park where I normally park. There's too many people swimming in the Yarra. So I found this little interesting channel. I'm sure it's probably been cleaned out and there'll be nothing here, but it's worth the try. It opens up into a big sort of pond here and then narrows off again. I reckon there might be some gold in there. You'd need waders or be prepared to do some sniping or something like that. This is all bedrock. Hopefully you can see in there, I'm seeing some heavy gravels where there's some rocks there. I'm going to move some of these rocks if I can and do a few bait pumps. I'll try scratching some material out of here, see how that goes. But I did hear back in the day a lot of, well, there used to be a fellow that bring people out here and that's all they did. he'd teach them to prospect, and all they did was crevice. But yeah, let's see what happens, and hopefully I can show you some gold. Oh, I'm just seeing if I can move this rock, because if this rock can get moved, it's probably going to be my best chance. It's just the rock sitting there, I haven't broken it out. Alright. Few of these rocks out that I can with my hand. Gotta be careful reaching into this sort of shit. Could be glass. I'm standing on a lot of what seems to be loose rocks. Only because I could feel my feet sort of twisting and rolling. Right. Let's try and see if we can get some shovels out of here. Got a beautiful spot down there to pan. So let's just try and get some shovels. Hopefully it's not just loose stones. Hopefully this is just trying to stand in a place. It's just all like cut like on an angle, and you don't really have anywhere to sit your feet. That rock was more up here, so all I'm trying to do is get rid of as much as I can first with the shovel before I get the bait pump in there. Yeah, I'm not really pulling any mud or clay or something that I'd more hope would be in here, but there are some smaller gravels. And the other thing is that I don't know how much actual overburden and rocks are here. That one's pretty much useless there. Alright. Alright. That's more what I'm looking for. That is more what I'm looking for. I'm going to pull that rock out. Some nice clay stuck to that rock. And now that's out of the way, and I'll just get the shovel. So this is the thing with the bait pump. Bait pump doesn't only help you suck the gravel up, it also helps you opening up some new ground. A lot of the time you're hitting something with the shovel and you think you're at the bottom, and you're not even close. And you walk away and you go, that place is shit. And the next bloke goes there, or you followed someone where they've actually been and said, go here, I've got some really nice gold. And you go there and you get nothing. And you haven't actually hit the actual bottom, and that's what we're trying to do. That's why bedrock's important. That's why clay is important. A lot of gold isn't going to be just sitting on the surface for you. It's work. It's actually a lot of hard work. And just because you get gold there or someone else gets gold there, doesn't mean everyone's going to get gold there. And it's about, they'll say, a lot of people say, oh, why do you go to these places? It's been worked to death. They're no good. There's nothing there. You know what? When you're first starting out, you're happy with a few little specks. And I'll tell you now, unless you learn all these tricks and you know all these tricks and you're applying all these tricks and techniques when prospecting, doesn't matter if you go somewhere where there's nuggets. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. You're not going to get to them. If you're not prepared to work and get right down to the clay layer, and that was the thing that I was showing at the start. I was getting no little fine gravels. Now, yeah, my pan's overloaded to the max. I'll pull a few of these rocks there because I'm going to do one pan here. I have one more location to get to. Hopefully, anyway. Oh. And am I going to leave gold here? Yep, because as I said, I'm going to do this pan. I did plan on crevicing that out. Crevicing, there's a big crack going this way as well, where it'll open up a little bit and hopefully some gold will drop out. But I won't do that today. And so you know my luck now. What I'm going to do is throw all this stuff back in here. I was going to pan down there. Plan was to do a few pans, but I've just, I don't know. I'm just thinking one pan's good enough. Just looking here, I'm more looking to see more indicators, more hoping I'd see some glass or something. Glass is always somewhere, glass acts like a heavy in that sense, more when you're gemstone hunting as well. If you're looking for gems and you start finding glass, most likely some gold has dropped out in the same place. Definitely there's a lot of ironstone heavies in this ground. Now Stony Creek has for gold size compared to Anderson Creek. Stony's probably got a little bit bigger gold than Anderson Creek. I think the three creeks that I talk about, or that are in the Warrandyte State Park, that are all tributaries of the Yarra, that are all open to prospecting in small sections, and make sure you go to parks and have a look and see what those sections are. Stony's probably the middle ground, and I'd say Jumping Creek has the best gold. Pan this stuff out slowly, trying to see. Not sure if it's a garnet or not. We'll have a look when I get into some bit better light. But yeah, Stony's about the middle ground. Haven't actually been to this part at Stony. As I said, I'd only come here because there's somewhere where I could park that was close to the car, not have to walk too far. Now hopefully I'm not wasting your time with all of this panning, and I'm going to be showing you something, I hope. Just looking to see if that's a garnet. I don't think so. I haven't seen any gold, and I may not see any. As I said, I'd suspect this actual spot has probably been done to death. So the likelihood of finding something is not great, but we have got onto something. Nothing, nothing huge. I'm gonna have to just there's still a little bit too much in there, and I'm gonna do really what I shouldn't, but this is going to test me now. I'm just going to back pan straight out the back of the pan where there's no riffles. Now really, you shouldn't pan like this. You're just asking for trouble. But sometimes you got to do some silly things. Got up there to get some clean water. I'll just clean this off and reveal what I've got here. Now, As I said, I did one pan. You've seen, I've done one pan. It's not it's nowhere near what I did at Anderson's to get some gold. And let's have a look. Let's have a look and see. Pick the phone up and yeah, let's have a look and see. I'll zoom this in. So, should be able to see 3, 4. And the reason I say 4, I couldn't see that one piece because just the stuff that was on my screen. So 3 bits there, 4 bits, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm saying 9 bits. And that's probably about it. 9 bits of gold, 1 pan. You've seen what I did. Wasn't a lot. There's gold here. Somewhere where you can take the kids. You don't have to trek them very far. Look it up. Look up Stony Creek. Go check it out. One more spot to go to. And I'm going to be leaving Warrandyte. And yeah, we'll get to the next spot. And let's see if we can be 3 times lucky. Alright guys, got down to a 3rd location today, just not in Warrandyte. Haven't been here in this particular spot, but I have been to this creek many times. Still a little bit of water around to pan. And I've come to this section for a reason, to do a little bit of different type of prospecting. I'm trying to cover as many different ways of doing things as possible, and I thought, why not try and do a little bit of crevicing on some exposed bedrock. So I'll just go under this. So obviously a bit of a pool of water. The bedrock starts here, and there's like a bedrock channel where you'd say the fastest water would be flowing. I'll show you some other spots just up here where the water flows, but in this channel would be where it's, if it flows this creek, it's going to be flowing through here, and when it's flying through, it's going to flow through here really super hard, and most of the stuff is going to just get ripped away. But hopefully, as the lighter stuff's getting ripped away, some of the heavier gold pops into some of these crevices, just all along here. Hopefully some of this bedrock as well is pretty loose and gravel's worked its way underneath, but we'll have a look at that in a second once I start working. All through here there's some crevices, and it looks like some of these bits of bedrock, there's crevices, let's have a look, under there, like there's little lips here, see, like this stuff is just popping away. But that's just more bedrock. I'm not looking for that so much. I'm looking for where there's a bit that's already broken underneath and it's acting as a catch. But I'll see how much of this little area I can work. Now, go up here back to this log, and you can see just in here, or I could see before when I was walking up, just under this log where there's no vegetation, there's some more gravels and rock there. That's a lot of work to, you'd have to remove a lot of that, because this tree's obviously, when the water's flowing high, this tree is whacking and slowing down the water a little bit. But today's challenge is get to work on some of these crevices. I'm only probably going to fill a pan. I'll probably just start in this section here. Looks like it's fairly deep, so let's try there first, and maybe into some of this, see what comes out, see if we can show you some colour. Oh, just before I do go and do my little bit of crevicing, so this is just a bit of wire that's bent up, sort of got a bit of a blunt point. I use my pick for a lot of stuff, and I have a couple other tools. Got another crevicing tool. This is actually a copper rod with a magnet and a steel point on the end, where I can go around looking for heavies. And this is just a little jimmy bar. And then when I get to some places, this was actually given to me by a couple of blokes that come to one of the meets, and I think it's like one of those ploughy sort of things that they cut in half and made and put a handle on the end, and still have it, still carry it around with me all the time and use it on many occasions. And the good thing with this thing, what I can do is you get in here, and as you can see, you can loosen up that gravel, and see that gravelly mud. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's where the gold is going to be. It's going to be in that, and I can use it to whack things. It's actually quite good, this tool. All right, I'm going to fill a pan up, and I have my little trowel if I didn't mention it. Whack a pan or two, and see if we can get to some gold. Alright, so what I've done is, this is that crack that I've shown you, and I've cleaned it up okay. Still a fair bit of material to get out of there, and the pan wasn't quite full, so I went into this section here. It looks like a big bit of rock's been removed at some stage. So I just got the bottom stuff out of there, and then while I did that, I looked at this part, and look, there seemed to be a lot of material just here. So what I've done, I just shoved the shovel in just to see if there was. And there actually is. I can go down pretty much a fair bit. So that'll be the next pan. That is more than enough now for this first trial pan, and I'll pan this out and show you the results. I won't bore you with me panning. I know a lot of people don't like it, so I won't bore you with any more panning. I've shown you enough sort of things today. Might show you what I do here when I shovel this out, just to show you just how deep this goes, because that'll be fairly quick. But yeah, let's see what comes out of this next pan. Alright, one little bit of gold, and maybe a little gemstone, not sure, one or two bits of gold there, one decent bit anyway. Alright, I'm going to do that next one, and I'm going to call it a day, but let's just see how we go with this one. Alright, I did that second hole there, not everything's out of it. Another bit of gold. I'm going to quickly throw some water in and bait pump, and see if there's anything in those little bottom gravels. See what happens. Alright, I'll just set the camera up just for those who haven't seen this sort of stuff. So what I've done is, I'm sure you all have, just filled these holes up with water. So these crevices, I should say. I'm just going to bait pump any material that I may have left behind. Pretty much brush everything down to the lowest points. That's that one done. Want to have your pan close to where you're bait pumping. Having the water fall back into the hole as well helps. Just let your bait pump for a bit longer, rather than what happened with the first one. All the water ran out and that was it. Now, for those interested in the treasure hunt, I've got to explain what's going to happen there. So, the treasure has been put at a location. In a couple of weeks, so not, what'll probably be the third Sunday of Feb, I'm going to do an outing somewhere. So if you know who I am and you already got my contact details, get in contact with me. Not 100% sure where I'm going to end up. Might be a bit of a tour, but on that actual day, in between locations, or on my way in or out, I'm going to be planting a few clues. So what will end up happening is I will put a pin in the comments of that video, and when you get to that pin, what I'm going to have is a little jar. In that jar is going to be a second pin and some coins and bits and pieces. But what I'm going to give you is the first part of the GPS coordinates. So I'll give you those numbers, and that'll be in the comments of this video. The second lot of coordinates will be at these pin drops. So in my next video of the outing that I do in a couple of weeks, there'll be a number at each pin drop. So there'll be 3 numbers. And then the next time I get out, the same thing will happen. There'll be a pin drop. And when you find the first pin, you'll go to the second pin, which will lead you to the third pin, and at each one of those, you get this number. When you put all the numbers together, it will give you the pin drop, or will give you a pin to the location where you need to park the vehicle. And then in the videos that I've put prior to this, there's little clues. Some are obvious, some aren't. Just keep those things in mind, because that's what you're going to need to actually find where this 14 odd grams is hidden. So yeah, as I said, if you know who I am and you've come out with me before and you've already got my contact details, more than welcome. As long as it's my personal ones, not the Murray River stuff, none of that actually exists anymore. As long as it's mine and you've got my details or my email or whatever, you can message me or give me a call or whatever. Alright, I'm going to pan this out. Let's see if there's any gold. Hopefully there's something. And let's see what happens. Alright, so after bait pumping, about 5 bits I think. I've seen about 5 bits. So not a lot. I'm going to leave it there. I have to run. Hope you have enjoyed it. I know it's been a little while. But until the next time, I will catch you all later.